Michael Jimenez. Halftime.
Yes, sir! It's halftime on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250, 103.3 FM. We're on the go at sasportsstar.com. Happy Tuesday, everybody. My name is Michael Jimenez, your host from 12 to 2. And Tuesdays means it's Tuesdays with Teague.
Hey.
Carolina Teague, how are you doing today?
I have no complaints. I'm always happy to be on the air with you. It's always a good time.
You know what? You're also going to blame me. I'm expecting for you being a little bit sick today. Everyone's blaming me. Rob Thompson says that he's sick because of me. Pledger says that he's sick because of me. Are you going to blame me as well?
No, I'm blaming the rain.
Okay.
I'm blaming the rain because for some reason, every time it rains, it conjures up all my symptoms. I don't know what it is. Maybe I'm allergic to rain or something.
I don't know. I saw some pollen on my car on the way in. Woke up,
that has to be it.
And that's probably it. But, it's fascinating. We do sports, pop culture, nostalgia. We are live on Facebook, live on YouTube. Search San Antonio Sports Star, like and subscribe. You can kind of check us out. I am wearing a brand new t-shirt today, and I'm very excited to show it. It's an NBA Jam shirt. It looks vintage, but it's not because it features Keldon Johnson and DeJounte Murray. So this was in my mailbox today because I checked my mail, Carolina, today for the first time in over a month.
Typical.
I think my mailman hates me.
I think that a lot of people don't check their mail, especially Mexicans. We don't check our mail ever. So, that's one of our big issues. But that's a really cool shirt, by the way. It looks super vintage. And I don't know if you ever played NBA Jam.
Oh.
We have it at the house.
Oh, you have it at the house?
Yeah, we have all the old school game systems. It's a lot of fun playing NBA Jam. And Michael Jordan always has the 99. Yeah. He shoots everything. But no, that looks really vintage. It looks just like the video game. I love it.
I have Pac-Man and Galaga at my house. I do not have NBA Jam.
You need NBA Jam.
Dude, NBA Jam, I was all about that life back in the mid-'90s, going to CC's Pizza on Bandera and Huebner back in the day. Going over there, getting the all-you-can-eat pizza, having 7 to 10 slices, and then going out and playing like $10 worth of NBA Jam.
Yeah, it's actually really fun, but 7 to 10 slices of pizza? I can only eat like 3 max.
Dude, this is like 16-year-old Michael. This is 17-year-old Michael. I can't do that anymore.
We can't do that.
It'd be like popping Tums all day long if I did that, right? But no, back then, man, we would throw down 6, 7, 8, 9 slices at a time, man.
CC's used to be cheap too.
Yeah.
It used to be cheap. Now it's expensive for the buffet. It's like $10, I think now. It used to be like $4.99, $5.99.
Yeah, inflation, baby. Inflation.
It's terrible. Yeah.
I went to Incredible Pizza Place on 410 and Marbach this past weekend. It was my nephew's birthday. And it was the first time I had a buffet type setting, because they had pizza there and they had drumsticks and tacos and all that stuff. And it was like weird because I wasn't used to going up and getting in line for that. Like that life has been gone for me for about 2 years, ever since COVID kind of took hold.
Yeah.
So it was kind of weird going out there and, picking out your food, picking out your salad and whatnot. But man, you're right. Things have gotten a little bit more expensive as time has gone on. I remember back in the day, man, my first job, I made $4.25.
Wow. That's nothing.
What was your first job?
My first job was at H-E-B.
Really? What did you do there?
I was a cashier.
Nice.
They told me to sell the pen. I sold the pen. They're like, you're a cashier. I was like, yay. So I was a cashier, skipped the whole bagger because you start as a bagger. Everybody does.
Okay.
But I got to skip being a bagger and I was cashier and I've had so many crazy experiences at H-E-B. It was like one of my favorite jobs ever. And then I became the sample chick. I used to give out samples to everybody. It was so much fun.
I used to work at Target back in the day. I was the one who would get the carts. But every once in a while, I'd say maybe 1 out of every 5 times I would work, I would be cashier. And that was like such a treat because it was inside and they had all the other pretty little cashiers around me, and all that. But I never stocked. I don't know why, but they never put me back there to stock. I used to hate restocking though. I never got to the back, where they say that, oh, if you ever ask somebody to go find something in the back, they're lying to you. They're going out to the back and they're just hanging out there for 30 or 45 seconds.
Yeah.
Then they come back and say, we're out. What we've got is what we've got.
At the end of the night, we used to have to return everything that people didn't want. You know how you give the cashier, I don't want this anymore?
Yeah.
At the end of the night, we used to have to give it back to everybody or give it back. And it was so hard trying to put some of the stuff. Yes, putting all the stuff back from H-E-B. That's why I kind of highly consider all the cashiers. I'm like, I don't want to take nothing back because I remember we'd stay there for 30, 45 minutes trying to find
No,
everything.
I take my happy butt back to the aisles, and I go back and I give back everything where it's supposed to be.
Me too.
Because I live that life. Hey, we do sports, pop culture, nostalgia over here. Was thinking about the Spurs, and a lot of people agree with me when it comes to whether or not the Spurs should try to make their way to the play-in tournament. But I want to take it in a different direction today. Let's make the assumption that the Spurs do make the play-in tournament.
Yeah.
How far can they realistically go in the whole process, and is it worth it? Also thinking about Deshaun Watson, is it weird to think that his legal problems stemming from 22 women accusing him of a variety of different types of assaults, is it possible that that was the best thing that ever happened to him? Kind of a weird way to look at it, right? Kenny Pickett, remember his hand size? Too small, 8.5 inches, 8.5-inch hands. Can't be in the NFL. Somehow, it's bigger today. Don't know how that happened, but we'll give you the latest numbers on that. And is Arby's trash? Pusha T doesn't think so. The rapper is singing about Arby's and giving love to Arby's, and you and I fought about this.
We fought about Arby's because I love Arby's, and we need to continue that fight later on today.
I am anti-Arby's, but again, Edwin Hafner is producing this show, and you know what? The Kielbasa Bacon phone lines are open at 656 ESPN, 656 ESPN, because not only can you call in to talk to us about Spurs or Cowboys or the NFL, but you can also have the chance to win tickets to see Luke Bryan in concert at the AT&T Center. We're giving away a pair of tickets on the show today. Again, the concert's August 25th. We'll give it away sometime, maybe around 1 o'clock. Okay, but the Kielbasa Bacon phone lines are open at 656 ESPN. You know what? Let's change the rules. Best phone call, best take gets these tickets. 656 ESPN.
That's my favorite one, when people give their best takes.
Yeah, I mean,
that's my favorite competition that we do here. I don't know, is it a competition? That's honestly my favorite one, because people have to call in and give takes to win tickets. You can't just be caller 8. You have to say something meaningful that grabs us.
Be part of the show. And you can be part of the show again on Facebook and YouTube and leave a comment. We'll be reading out our best ones, our favorite ones throughout the day. But let's talk about the Spurs and the play-in tournament. There's 10 games left in the NBA season for the Spurs, and they don't play again until tomorrow night when they take on Portland. Weird thing is, they play Portland 3 times in the next week and a half or so. Portland has lost 10 out of 12 games, and right now the Spurs and the Trailblazers are going back and forth between having the 7th and 8th worst record in the NBA. As of right now, Portland is the 7th worst, and the Spurs right now have the 8th best chance of going on and winning the lottery, or at least moving into the top 4 of the lottery. So I was thinking about it, because yesterday we was talking about, should the Spurs be going out there and winning games? And yesterday I called 2 of the wins meaningless. Lonnie Walker knocked down a 3-pointer with less than a second to go to beat Oklahoma City.
That was awesome.
And Keldon Johnson, his put back to beat Golden State with half a second to go as well. Both of them great wins for the Spurs. Spurs fans are excited.
Clutch.
Super clutch, both of them, right? But at the same time, it did hurt their chances of getting the 7th or 6th best chance of getting into the lottery. And I know a lot of Spurs fans don't want to think about that.
Yeah, why do you think of it that way?
Well,
why do you think backwards?
There,
oh yeah, we don't want to. Yeah,
there.
we can't. We can't. Yeah.
We're not going to take the train to Negative Town today.
We're trying to be more peaceful, right, Michael?
Well, today I want to show the other side. Okay, the other side was asking the question, if the Spurs do in fact make the play-in tournament, because they have the ability to make the play-in tournament, because they're only 2 games behind. And they're 2 games behind New Orleans, around 2 games behind the Lakers as well. And we've got bad teams coming up. The Spurs play New Orleans still to go. The Spurs have to play Portland 3 times, and it looks as though Portland is truly trying to tank.
Well,
so that being said, let's say the Spurs do make their way into the play-in tournament. Spurs right now, 2 games behind New Orleans, 3 games behind the Lakers. Okay. So let's say the Spurs get the 10th spot, Carolina.
We're playing make-believe.
Playing make-believe right now.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say that we leapfrog New Orleans.
Okay.
And the Spurs play the Lakers at the Crypto Center in LA for that 9-10 matchup.
Okay.
Can the Spurs win that game?
Yes.
Okay.
I think the Spurs can win against the Lakers.
I think so too.
I think so too, especially with the way that the Lakers are playing right now, with the miscommunication between Russell Westbrook. He's been losing his confidence lately when it comes to how he's playing. And there's a statistic that ever since the All-Star break, LeBron James or the team only wins when LeBron James scores, what is it, 45 or 50 more points?
Yeah, he has to score a
He has to
lot of
score a
points.
lot of points, which is also very doable because, John Morant scored 52 on the Spurs. So, I mean, that is a possibility that LeBron can score that much against the Spurs, but there's a very high probability that the Spurs could actually win that game. And that's because we're playing make believe. They would have to somehow fight to get in that 10th spot, and that's only 2 games away, and they had a pitiful performance against the Pelicans, so
Okay, so let's say the Spurs go ahead and leapfrog New Orleans, beat them later on next week, beat the Portland Trailblazers a few times, make their way into the 10th spot. Again, you say that they can beat the Lakers, and I agree with you. That Lakers team is free falling.
yeah, it is.
Okay. And they have, don't get me wrong, they have LeBron James, and that's a big deal. But LeBron James was also talking bad about the play-in tournament, thought it was dumb. And
Of course he did.
it's so weird that they're now, in this battle for that 10th spot. I don't even know if they want to make it. The weird thing is that they don't have any reason to not make it, because it's not like if they lose, they get a better draft pick, because right now their draft pick does not belong to the Lakers. The Lakers have traded that away. And New Orleans traded away their draft pick as well. So they have no reason to tank either. New Orleans is trying to win. Let's make that clear.
Mm.
But let's say the Spurs make the 10th spot, beat New Orleans. The next game, the Spurs have to go on and play either the Clippers or the Minnesota Timberwolves. Let's go ahead and say that the T-Wolves take care of business
Mhm.
and win their game, advance, go to the 7th spot. So now we're trying to play for the 8th spot against, say, the Clippers.
Okay.
Can the Spurs beat the Clippers, who right now have a losing record? They're 36-37. No Kawhi Leonard. Can the Spurs beat the Clippers?
No, because they've had difficulty beating the Clippers early on in the season. So I don't think that they could beat the Clippers, simply because of the fact that even though we're throwing these statistics about how they're losing so far, I mean, the Pelicans were in the same situation. They were 3-18 when without their star player. So now that they're back in, or there's a possibility that they could be facing the Clippers without their star player, I don't see how the Spurs could win that. I don't think they could beat I don't think they could beat the Clippers, but I do think they could beat the Lakers.
Okay. So I think they can win both. And it's kind of interesting because if the Spurs go over there, they would actually be the team that is, how can I say it, rested there,
Mhm.
because the Clippers would have to go to Minnesota and then come back home. The Spurs would have already been there
Mhm.
because they would have played at the Crypto Center, and then they'd
Mhm.
have to play at the Crypto Center again because the Lakers and the Clippers play in the same city, play in the same arena,
Mhm.
right? Let's say that the Spurs do make that happen
Yeah.
and fall in the 8th spot. So that being said, the Spurs would then take on the Phoenix Suns, who have by far the best record in the NBA at 58-14
Mhm.
with an 80% winning percentage.
Mhm.
Can the Spurs beat the Suns in a best of 7 series?
No.
Okay.
I don't think that's happening. But back to I wanted to say something more about the Clippers too. Game that the Clippers did beat the Spurs, they lost to Spurs won 2, lost 1. The game that the Clippers won, Keldon Johnson, Doug McDermott, Drew Eubanks was in, DeJounte Murray, and Derek White. A lot of those players are gone
Yeah.
now. So now they have a different starting lineup. Is there a possibility that they could beat them? I still say no because Spurs are still a young team, and I feel like the Clippers have an advantage in that aspect because they still have, Paul George, they still have Zubac, Reggie Jackson. I think that's a possibility that
It's
they
a
could
strong
win.
it's a deceptively strong team. They don't play up to their abilities at all. They should be better than a 500 team.
Mhm,
But we're all in agreement, and whether you are part of Team Tank or Team Play in tournament, we're all under the agreement that the Spurs will not get past the Phoenix Suns if the Spurs got into the play-in, beat the 9 team, beat the 8 team, and made their way into the actual playoffs to play the best of 7 series, that there's absolutely no chance that they
no
win a
chance.
4 to 7 series. Okay.
No, and that's because there's too much talent on the Phoenix Suns.
So my question, and now again, I'm going to try to avoid the tank talk today. But my question is this. Is it really that important for the Spurs to get this experience compared to what it would be like to pick 4 or 5 spots better in the draft?
Absolutely. I think playoff experience matters to me more than anything. Like, I mean, I guess it just depends on what you think is more important. Do you think it's more important for your organization to be more successful in the long run, which there's still a possibility because the Spurs have multiple draft picks going beyond next year and they have the possibility to rebuild? Right now, the Spurs are a young team and they do not have a lot of playoff experience. So getting that playing experience, being able to play teams that do have playoff experience, and that's kind of one of the main factors. Even going up against somebody like LeBron James, he turns into playoff LeBron, which what everybody says, he has so much experience in the playoffs, and that's what makes him good in the playoffs. Other teams like the Suns, they have playoff experience too. The Spurs need that type of experience, and it has to start somewhere. So why not start this year? Like, why do you? I mean, not why do you think? Because your team tank, and I don't want to go down the team tank direction, but do you agree that they need that experience? And what better time to start than right now?
Well, my take on this is that it's not the playoffs. The play-in is not the playoffs. It's not. The playoffs is a 4 out of 7 series. It is going back and forth between a city. It's all about matchups. Really, to me, the play-in, whether it's the 10-9 matchup or the 10-8 matchup, is basically March Madness. It's
Yeah.
not the same thing as the playoffs. Kielbasa Bacon phone lines are open at 656 ESPN. On line 1, we have Joe. What's going on, Joe?
Hey, Mike, Carolina. This is Joe Garcia of the Two Shots podcast. I'm calling in to talk about the Spurs' chances realistically of them getting into the play-in tourney and even going further in the playoffs. I mean, when I look at it at the end of the day, the math isn't stacked up in the Spurs' favor. They have to win 7 out of their last 3 games, in my opinion, in order to actually have a bona fide chance to go ahead and get into the play-in tourney. Beyond that, you have the Pelicans in front of the Spurs. The Pelicans just gave the Spurs a shellacking the other night. I don't really see the Spurs being able to overcome the Pelicans in a big game situation because we've seen what's happened in the bubble. And currently, this team doesn't have the experience necessary, in my opinion, to actually be able to defeat a team like the Pelicans. The Lakers, that's fine. I believe that they can go ahead and catch the Lakers because the Lakers have been sliding. But as far as the, let's say, experience that's on this particular Spurs team, it's kind of lacking, and we've seen that throughout the season only because of the young core. While making the play-in tourney is not the end of the world, I do like the fact that at the end of the day, the Spurs can lose, but trying to win, it gives some playing time to some of the younger core, especially somebody like Josh Primo, who has been getting some minutes now in the absence of one Doug McDermott. So,
Okay, and Joe, I like your call, and stay on for a quick second here.
I agree with you, Joe. And this is kind of like our make believe scenario, right? Because I think me and Michael can come to the agreement that you have that we don't believe that they have to jump hurdles in order to make the play-in tournament. But if they do get across that play-in tournament and they do make it to the playoffs, do you believe that that experience is necessary for the young core if they do have the opportunity, or do you think it's more important for them to tank?
I think at this point, it's just important for them to compete. Be honest with you, whether that translates into a win or a loss. That's, I'm me in particular, and some of the other Spurs fans I know are fine with the wins or the losses. The thing is that the team needs much needed experience. So if they were able to get into let's say, the playoffs by some miracle, that would only benefit the younger core because, again, it would actually help them get that much needed experience. And then, unfortunately for the Spurs, though, since they are so young, experience is going to be the one thing that's going to actually propel this team to get better. But in the same token, it's also going to be painful to watch because they're going to make poor decisions. And again, when you're going into a playoff situation, they're going to go ahead and really press you when it comes to defense. And as we've seen with the Spurs, when a team really starts to press them, especially in crunch time, third quarter, fourth quarter, they start to not be able to knock down shots. And when they go through those cold spells, that's when we see them get in trouble.
100% agree with you, Joe.
Yeah.
I 100% agree with you. He called into the Kielbasa Bacon phone lines. Thank you so much for calling, Joe.
Thank you, Joe.
Here's the thing about it,
Yeah,
man.
thanks.
the reason I like this call. The thing about it is this: is that I need to center myself, Carolina. So maybe I went off a little bit too far into the deep end yesterday. Maybe a little bit because
Well, you always kind of do go far into the
well,
deep end.
because I get
Passionate,
emotionally involved in this. But Joe brought up something that I thought was fascinating, which he said Primo got some time and he got some minutes. That's what I asked for as a Spurs fan. I asked for let the chips fall where they may because I wanted Primo to go out there, get some minutes, and he started, had over 30 minutes. Lonnie Walker was not there because of injury. Doug McDermott was not out there because of injury. Lonnie went out there and got some minutes, got some play, and the Spurs won. Maybe I shouldn't complain about that. But to me, as a Spurs fan, looking at the standings, I look at it and I think to myself, you know what? To me, honestly, I think it's overrated to have this playing experience. I think it's overrated because I'd rather get a better player in the draft and then have that experience in 2023. But it's fascinating what's going on right now because my frustration when it comes to the Spurs revolves around the fact that I don't know what they're trying to accomplish because sometimes they make moves and they start doing things where it looks like they're wanting to get into the play-in tournament, and other days it just seems like they don't want to be in the play-in tournament because they start benching players. They get a game away from New Orleans. They get a game away from the play-in tournament, and what do? They start benching their starters. And it's all just very suspect to me.
Yeah.
But there's 10 games to go in the regular season. Again, the Spurs play Portland, play New Orleans, play Houston, all on the road, but all 3 games are very winnable. Hopefully they can bounce back against New Orleans because New Orleans kicked our butts at the AT&T Center.
They did, but Tariq made a comment and he said there's no way that the Spurs can beat the Lakers, but they can. They won the last 2 games in a row
Yeah.
against the Lakers. So there is a possibility that the Spurs can win. They've already won the past 2 games.
The Lakers squad is completely overrated and they are dysfunctional there.
They are definitely dysfunctional.
It's weird when you see the Spurs right now and you take a look at like how they may have a worse record than compared to the Lakers, but they're more functional than what's going on with the dysfunction in LA.
Yeah, there's a lot of dysfunction in LA, and it's been widely reported. I think the Spurs are definitely a more cohesive team, especially, or at least from the forefront, what we can see. With the Pelicans, I know that was a really bad game, but I have a question to ask you. Do you think it was a series of unfortunate events? Because first, Lonnie Walker went out. I'm still looking for updates on where Lonnie Walker's, what's going on with him.
Back issues, yeah.
Back issues. And then Pop, he gets ejected from the game.
And then Winks.
Which was a red flag, by the way. I was going to tell you about that. But do you think that it was just a series of unfortunate events as to why they lost to the Pelicans?
It smelled bad. Like I'm trying, and I know.
I know. I just want to ask you. I know you don't want to go there, but
it's almost like you're walking closer to me, and I'm walking closer to you in our opinions. And that's the weird thing is that there's 10 games to go in this season. The Spurs have very winnable games: Portland, New Orleans, Houston, and then they go home against Memphis, and then back-to-back home games against Portland. The Spurs have very winnable games. Golden State without Steph Curry, this time at the AT&T Center. Spurs have some winnable games. I think the Spurs are going to go 5-5 or 6-4 the rest of the way, and that's going to knock on the door of getting into the play-in tournament because I think they'll take out Portland in Portland. I think they'll beat Houston in Houston. They'll win both games against Portland. They'll win that game here against Golden State, and then they'll upset one of these teams. They'll upset either Denver, Memphis, or Minnesota. They'll win one of those games and somehow be 6-4. Lo and behold, we're going to be taking on the Lakers or New Orleans in the play-in tournament.
Okay. Have you ever heard of the power of manifestation? Do you know what that is? So if you speak something into existence, it happens. So let's manifest right now that the Spurs are going to make the play-in tournament. Why don't we just say yes? Just walk with me. Just say it out loud. The Spurs are going to make this. That way we have more to talk about.
I want that draft pick. But do you know what people can speak into existence? Luke Bryan tickets. If they call into the Kielbasa Bacon phone lines and talk to us, you can talk to us about the Spurs. Up next, we'll be talking about Deshaun Watson. Kind of weird. I was driving into the station. I was thinking to myself about Deshaun Watson. I was like, you know what? First of all, we need a woman's opinion on this because we've heard my opinion. We've heard Pledger. We've heard Rudy J and Minix and Ryan Nagel and Rob Thompson. But Carolina, I want to get your impression as to what's going on with Deshaun Watson, the big deal he signed. And is it weird to think that his problems, all the stuff that he is accused of, and the subsequent charges against him or lack of charges and all those suits and whatnot, Is it possible that that was the best thing that ever happened to him in a very absurd and weird way, but it might actually be true? We'll be talking about this on the other side. Also, Kenny Pickett, his hands are growing. They're somehow growing. And on top of that, Baker Mayfield, we'll get in some Baker talk. Should we put respect on his name? Have we gone a little too far? This is Halftime on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250 and 103.3 FM.
We all know the destination, but it's the journey that defines the team.
Three again, good again!
One stumble and it may be the end. Every game.
Reverse layup, yeah!
Every moment.
Rises up, 4-3, bucket, oh my!
Is one step closer to the destination.
Good, myself and a three!
Listen for the latest tournament scores and news. Are you ready for the madness?
Boom, boom, shakalaka!
San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN 1250 and 103.3 FM.
Want your biggest possible tax refund this year? Jackson Hewitt and Walmart have an offer you won't want to miss. Your Jackson Hewitt Tax Pro will prepare your federal return for as little as $59 and no more than $179. Taxes done where you shop. Your biggest federal refund guaranteed for no more than $179. Stop by Jackson Hewitt in any participating Walmart store today because this offer won't last. Terms apply.
Research shows that people remember radio ads with a booming voice that emphasizes all the main points. So to help you remember that Liberty Mutual Insurance Company customizes your home insurance so you only pay for what you need.
That part is super important.
Here's one with a booming voice.
I'm emphasizing everything.
Liberty Mutual customizes your home insurance.
Like a page with every word highlighted.
Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Join San Antonio Sports Star for live broadcast of the Blitz on March 24th and 25th from 4 to 7 at Yingling Lager Hoop City at Pinkerton's Barbecue, and watch your favorite games on the big jumbo screens there in Legacy Park. Win prizes and gift cards every hour during the Blitz. Do you love your garage? Can you get your cars and the kids' bikes in? Jason Minnick's here for Garageization, your garage storage solution. With a variety of shelving, overhead racks, slat walls, and closed cabinet options, Garageization can make your garage functional for the entire family. Call 210-664-4494 and have them give you a free customized plan for your family's needs. For over a decade, Garageization has helped people love their garage. Learn more online at GarageOrganizationSanAntonio.com.
There's never any FOMO with the iHeartRadio app. You won't ever have to miss out on your favorite shows and contests with this radio station again. Radio 24/7, 365. We're here when you want us. Stay connected and listen anywhere when you download the free iHeartRadio app.
At Lowe's, every pro is an MVP to us, no matter how big or small your business is. Earn back when you spend, get exclusive offers, and paint rewards. It all adds up to help level up your business. Join Lowe's MVP's Pro Rewards and Partnership Program today. Minimum purchase required. Earnings and paint rewards awarded as Lowe's e-gift cards. Exclusions, restrictions, and more terms apply. Valid through 12/31/22. See Lowe's.com/L/Pro Loyalty terms. Subject to change. U.S. only.
Do you want the best for your car? Then fill up with premium at Circle K. Circle K Premium is our best fuel with double the cleaning detergent, protecting your engine from corrosion and damage so it can work at its best. And that, my friend, increases your mileage for more cha-ching in your pocket. Plus, when you fill up with premium at Circle K, you can save up to 20 cents per gallon. Offer valid Thursdays or Fridays at participating stores. For details, visit CircleK.com. Circle K. How convenient.
Guys, stop what you're doing. Give me a few seconds of your time and let me give you a piece of advice that will change your love life forever. Have you noticed you've been losing a little pep in your step? Has your lady friend asked you, is everything okay? Do you find yourself having trouble rising for the occasion? Do you stress out before that special moment and wonder, is it gonna work? Guys, I'm going to let you in on a big secret. You don't ever have to worry again. The Mojo Male Enhancement Formula has you covered. Mojo is the 100% guaranteed male enhancement formula that guarantees lasting success, if you know what I mean. The Mojo Male Enhancement Formula is safe, natural, and effective every single time, guaranteed. Yeah! Mojo is available in a fast-acting spray and a quick-action capsule. Do yourself and her a favor and call Pure Line Nutrition in San Antonio today. They'll get you set up for success. Call 210-494-2210. That number again is 210-494-2210. Mojo Male Enhancement, only available at Pure Line Nutrition.
Take a break from the hustle. This is Halftime with Michael Jimenez on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN 1250 and 103.3 FM.
The Blitz is going on the road. Join Jason Minix and Joe Reinagel as the Blitz goes on the road to Texas Cheerlicker number 2 at 1219 Petranco Road across from Walmart. Free samples, great deals, lots of prizes, including tickets to the Valero Texas Open and more. Again, that's tomorrow at Texas Cheerlicker number 2 from 4 to 7, 1219 Petranco Road. I'll probably pop in as well. That's my liquor store. That's my neighborhood.
Oh, wow.
So-
Speaking of neighborhood, shout out to everybody on Marbach who's watching. I feel like Marbach people really attack me all the time, but they have my best interest at heart. They're always trying to get on me on Twitter. So shout out to all my Marbach people. No, in a good way.
Oh, okay.
In a good way. They always recommend Marbach places, but they're always like, Marbach this, Marbach that. No, you need to go to Marbach. So shout out to Marbach.
Some of the best people you'll find will be like Ingram Road, Marbach Road, Valley High.
Yeah, they are real passionate about
Yeah.
Marbach.
Yeah, they are passionate. They love because
They love Marbach. Why?
Because
What's so good about Marbach? I've never really hung out on that side of town.
First of all, some of the tacos on Marbach are amazing.
Okay.
But the rivalries are there between Jay and Holmes and Jay and what used to be West Campus and back in the day.
Yeah.
There's rivalries out there as to neighborhoods. I will say this though, Marbach Road, they got some good tacos over there. That's some good times. But I was at the Incredible Pizza place the other day over there off of Marbach. So yeah, I don't live that far from Marbach. I live off 1604 in Petranco. I'm outside the loop.
Okay.
So again, Texas Cheerlicker tomorrow, the 1219 location, the Texas Cheerlicker number 2, which is basically 1604 and Petranco. I'll be out there. My wife loves to go to that one as well. So there's very good people, by the way.
What are you going to be doing out there? Drinking liquor?
Supporting our sponsors. Go get another bottle.
Okay.
So it's going to be good times.
Can you get me a bottle?
It's going to be like Gold Slick Vodka from, what was that movie? Gold Slick Vodka from Superbad.
I don't know. I've never tried Hennessy before. So why don't you just go to Texas Cheerlicker and give me a bottle of Hennessy.
I'll drink up all the Hennessy you got in yourself. So just let me introduce myself. My name is Humpty, pronounced with the umpty. Oh, ladies. Oh, sorry. Not that I've ever karaoke that song before, but I have. Hey, we do sports, pop culture, nostalgia over here. We're also giving away tickets to see Luke Bryan. Best caller, best take gets the tickets. We had a call earlier from Joe, who did a fantastic job earlier. The Kielbasa Bacon phone lines are open at 656 ESPN. Again, 656 ESPN. Hey, Deshaun Watson, kind of weird. I'm driving into the station. I'm thinking to myself, dude, this guy, he got in trouble because 22 ladies accused him of whether it be harassment, assault, or whatever the case may be. They're all massage therapists. And I'm thinking to myself, you know what? Was this the best thing that ever happened to him? He sat out an entire season, right? He gets traded to the Cleveland Browns and gets a big contract, 5 years, $230 million, fully guaranteed.
Yeah.
Fully guaranteed.
Yeah.
Dude, he won. He won. And I'm thinking about this because some people look at it from a sports perspective where they're like,
yeah,
well,
how you won? How? Like, what do you mean?
He won
from a financial aspect?
From everything. Because he got to leave Houston to a team that's better.
Well, Houston sucks.
Well,
I mean, their organization sucks.
They do. Ever since Bill O'Brien killed that organization.
He really did. He buried it and stomped his feet on the ground and he spit on their grave.
Yes. I mean, he stepped on it like it was a cigarette on the ground.
Exactly. Just totally just demolished everything that they were building.
But despite all of this, despite all the accusations, Deshaun Watson not only gets to play in the NFL, but he got a big fat raise out of it. And on top of that, that money is fully guaranteed. And I'd like to have a female perspective from this because it's one of those things where, it's going to alienate some Cleveland Brown fans. There's going to be some who are going to be excited that a tier 1 quarterback, an elite quarterback, is under center. They've had crappy quarterbacks year after year after year over there.
Yeah, for sure.
Baker Mayfield is probably the best that they've had in 20 years, 25 years.
And that's depending on who you ask.
But there are so many women who love football.
Right.
I would say,
myself included.
I would say, and someone told me this the other day, that women have the highest percentage of fandom in NFL than they do in NBA or in baseball.
Yeah, there's more women fans and women fans who love the NFL more than any sport.
But seeing what happened and the fact that all these accusations, whether they're true or not, we all have our opinions as to whether they're true or not.
Right.
You can either side with one person or 22 people, right?
Right.
But knowing that, do you think that Deshaun Watson just ultimately won at life with this, and that he basically, that everything that happened, all the accusations, basically was the best thing that ever happened to him because he gets to take it to the bank now?
No, it wasn't the best thing that ever happened to him. I don't think that he's winning at life by any means because I don't think money or contracts can buy a peace of mind. And the situation that happened with his accusations, number one, there's so many question marks when you look at the case as a totality. But it's a really tricky situation because Deshaun Watson, he's a black man, and black men get accused of crimes more than anything. And you got to look at the facts. 22 women accused him. I don't know if you read the whole lawsuit. I did. I read every accusation. They're very, very intense. It's serious what these allegations are, and they're very graphic. For him to be, they didn't take it to court. They just said there wasn't enough sufficient evidence.
Mhm.
And essentially the reason why is because he kept saying, "I plead the Fifth Amendment," which is his right. And that's why in America you have the criminal court system and you have certain, I would say, like, you can protect yourself in certain ways by law. You can't be forced to give up statements or anything like that. He has to deal with this mental headache of having to be accused of sexual assault by 22 women. He is now considered, I wouldn't say not guilty or innocent, but people already consider him guilty in the court of public opinion, even though he hasn't been charged with anything. So people already think he's a guilty man, and he's never been charged. Now he has to go through the civil situation, which is a whole ordeal on its own. And that's another headache on its own. Because if he loses these cases, he has to pay a lot of money to these people if it's found that he's guilty of actually committing these sexual assault acts. And he has to go through another whole court process, in addition to losing a lot of fans, in addition to people labeling him as somebody who did something that he hasn't even been committed of a crime for. So, I mean, mentally, he's not winning at all.
Convicted and guilty are two different things sometimes. I mean, he can be convicted in court, right? But sexual assault is one of the hardest things to ever prove.
That is true.
And just because he was not charged doesn't mean that it didn't happen.
Correct. But I like I said, and I talk from a personal experience, I know people that have been sexually assaulted and they never get justice for it. And I also know people who have been accused of sexual assault who had to pay their whole life savings just to be considered not guilty. And this happens all the time. People can make these accusations and consider him guilty even though there's no evidence. And that's the hard part. It's hard to prove that you've been sexually assaulted, but it's also hard to prove your innocence as well.
Understood.
That's why it's hard.
And maybe in the back of his mind he doesn't have peace, but we'll never know. TMZ Sports.
I don't think he does.
TMZ Sports is reporting that he was out and about at a concert. He was supporting his girlfriend Jillian Nace. And if you recognize that name and go, Jillian Nace, that sounds familiar.
That's DeJounte's ex.
That's exactly the ex of DeJounte Murray. She was actually opening up with a performance, opening up for 2 Chainz out at the Texas Smoke Break Fest in Houston. But I found that to be very interesting. I'm glad that you talked about this whole situation because you're right. There are people who are guilty who don't get convicted, and there are people who are innocent who get accused.
That's why it's important before you call him guilty in the court of public opinion that you let the court system play out on its own.
Well, it was never going to play out because the guy has a lot of money. And the more money you have, the easier you are to get off when it comes to these charges.
And the more money you have, the more people also want to come at you for your money. So you got to look at it from that perspective as well. We'll never know the truth, but we do know the evidence that's in front of us. And the evidence is there wasn't sufficient evidence to take him to court for these cases.
There will be 22 non-disclosure agreements, also known as NDAs. I mean, take a look at the cheerleaders from the Dallas Cowboys. There were 4 that got paid off because of a senior VP who was accused of peeping on them. right? And pulling his phone out and all that stuff. We'll never know because these NDAs, man,
that's the sad part. There's so many men who use those disclosures as an advantage to be able to make sexual advances of women in this industry and never be charged for it. So we'll never know the answer. So I feel sad for the victims if it comes out that that he has to pay for what he's done in a civil perspective.
Yeah.
And he should pay the money if he's found guilty in civil court. But I don't think he's made it off easy in any way, shape, or form. Yes, he has that huge contract, but if he's found guilty, he's going to have to pay a lot of money. And he's going to have that scarlet
letter. Yeah.
Scarlet letter on his back forever.
I respect your opinion, and I'm glad that we had it today. Thank you so much for that. Quickly, some news and notes on the NFL. ESPN's Adam Schefter is reporting that running back Leonard Fournette has signed again with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, a 3-year deal. Marcus Mariota signed with the Atlanta Falcons. And again, yesterday, Matt Ryan, quarterback formerly of the Atlanta Falcons, was traded to the Indianapolis Colts. I think that's an interesting trade. Pledger's all about it. I think that it's going to be a good move for the Colts because it doesn't take much to hand the ball off. The Colts have a really good running game, and it's so funny seeing one division in the AFC have like the best running backs and the other division have the best quarterbacks. It's going to be air versus ground next season. I'm so looking forward to AFC football because, as I mentioned yesterday, there are going to be future Hall of Fame quarterbacks.
Absolutely.
In the AFC that are not making the playoffs this year or the year after because there's so many good quarterbacks in that conference. In the 1:00 hour, we'll talk about Jameis Winston. I'm finally coming to grips with the fact that Jameis is going to be under center for my favorite team. Yesterday, Jameis Winston signed a 2-year deal with the Saints. We'll get into that, and we'll also be talking about Baker Mayfield. Should we put some respect on his name? Kielbasa Bacon phone lines are open at 656. When we come back, we're going to talk to Rodrigo. He's on the line waiting right now. But again, those who have the one who has the best take, the best call-in, gets tickets to see Luke Bryan, the Raised Up Right Tour, August 25th at the AT&T Center. We're looking forward to that. Rodrigo's on the line. And when we come back, we'll also be talking about some pop culture because here at halftime, it is sports, pop culture, and nostalgia. Is Arby's trash? I mean, that's a debate worth having because some people love them some Arby's. This is halftime on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250 and 103.3 FM.
It's drive and determination.
Catching a right-hand dunk.
It's magic and mayhem.
Long three is good.
We've got NBA action live on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN 1250 and 103.3 FM.
Sports Center is brought to you by Kielbasa Slow Crafted Sausage, available at your local grocery stores.
In the NFL, the Dallas Cowboys are bringing back safety Jaron Kearse on a 2-year, $10 million deal that is worth up to $11 million total. Kearse, who is 28, started 15 games, helped to be a key factor in the Cowboys' defensive turnaround last season as he led the team with 101 tackles, a sack, a fumble recovery, 2 interceptions, and 10 passes defensed. Former Cowboys offensive tackle La'el Collins, who was released late last week, has a new home already as he signed a 3-year deal worth up to $30 million to help protect Joe Burrow and the reigning AFC champion Cincinnati Bengals. The Houston Texans re-signed Kamu Grugier-Hill on a 1-year, $4 million deal. Grugier-Hill had a breakout season last year in Houston with 13 tackles for a loss and over 100-plus tackles. For San Antonio Sports Star, I'm Rudy J.
Feeling exhausted? Between the pandemic and that never-ending to-do list, it seems we all are. This month is Sleep Awareness Month, and Casper's helping empower people to embrace the restorative power of rest all month long. Whether you need more support or wake up too hot, Casper has a mattress for every type of sleeper, so you can rest assured. Get the cool, supportive rest you need this Sleep Awareness Month. Shop Casper.com and use code P100 to get $100 off select mattresses. Exclusions apply. See Casper.com for details.
Hey, Ray Magliozzi here. Have you ever cooked a really fine gourmet meal? Yeah, me neither. But I'm told it all comes down to the ingredients. And when I need ingredients to improve my car, the place I go is eBay Motors. Whether you roasted your last transmission, graded your current floor mats, or pureed your side view mirror on a lamppost, eBay Motors has the right parts at the right prices. 122 million of them. And by the way, if you recently fired up your grill, don't worry, eBay Motors has grills too. eBay Motors. Let's ride.
On the radio, all I hear is sell us your house, sell us your car, sell us your dog, sell us your wife, and sell us your children. My name's John Clay Wolf, and I created GiveMeTheVin.com. First guy to ever advertise sell us your car on the radio. Everybody copied me, man. I got to come up with a new deal. No, I don't, because we're the best car buyer in the United States of America. GiveMeTheVin.com. And if we don't beat a CarMax offer, send you a check for $100.
Sell us your car. GiveMeTheVin.com. So easy you can do it in your underwear.
Mother's Window Tint, your car stereo, and auto security headquarters has discounts piled to the ceiling. That's right, every store, Austin and San Antonio, and especially the Bandera Road store in San Antonio has discounts on everything. Car stereos, car alarms, and especially the window tint you want. Dark, dark, dark window tint. Also, make your car go thump, 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 mother thump with new subwoofers and an amplifier. That's right. We can even hook it up to your existing factory car stereo. Get to Mother's Window Tint today. Check us out online at motherswindowtint.com or give us a like and a follow on Facebook. Tell your friends. Come on in. We've got those discounts stacked to the ceiling at Mother's Window Tint. Remember, do it at Mother's and save.
Is Diamonds Direct really as good as the commercials say? Ask San Antonio's Danny Ramirez.
I had heard this commercial over and over and over. I guess I just wanted to hit the spot and see what it would do for me.
Danny had been shopping for a pair of diamond stud earrings. He'd been to 3 other stores. But at Diamonds Direct, he was amazed at the prices.
When she showed me that and she showed me the price, and I'm going like, are you sure? And I go, well, what's the price on your 1 total carat weight? And she showed me the price, and I'm going like, oh my God, I can afford a 1 carat weight. At Diamonds Direct, I was able to get almost double the size of the earrings that I was looking at the other guys with.
Have you discovered Diamonds Direct? It's more diamond jewelry than you've ever seen in one place at prices you never thought possible. Don't compromise. Get her a bigger, better quality diamond for less at Diamonds Direct.
If you live in San Antonio and you're looking for your jewelry, go ahead and go to Diamonds Direct. You're going to get the best pricing.
Diamonds Direct, San Antonio's direct diamond importer. At the shops at La Cantera in a freestanding building between the mall main entrance by La Cantera Parkway and Nordstrom.
The most up-to-date tournament scores and news. We've got it for you, because we all get the madness in March. Listen for the latest. San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN 1250 and 103.3 FM.
This is Joe Reinagle. Jason Minix and I will get you caught up on the latest news, moves, and more this afternoon, 4 to 7 on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN 1250 and 103.3 FM.
Joe Reinagle is my boy. And if you want to see Reinagle and Jason Minix on the Blitz from 4 to 7, they'll be at Texas Cheerleader number 2 tomorrow. On Thursday, they'll be at the Pinkerton's Barbecue downtown. And then they'll also be at Pinkerton's on Friday. We'll be doing the Blitz and at the halftime on Friday, the Blitz on Thursday and Friday from Pinkerton's, and Saturday morning Hangover is also going to be at Pinkerton's. We're going to be celebrating over at downtown Legacy Park. It's your chance to watch the basketball tournament games on the jumbo screen. Your chance to win Yuengling Grizzly Ice Chest and other prizes every hour during the live broadcast, as well as Pinkerton gift cards. This is all part of March Madness in the Sweet 16, because Thursday we have those games at the AT&T Center. San Antonio hosting the South region, Villanova against Michigan, and Arizona against Houston. Cannot wait. Again, the Blitz tomorrow at Texas Cheerleader number 2, and Thursday and Friday over at Pinkerton's Barbecue.
Am I invited to Pinkerton's? You
Please,
you have not extended
us.
an invite over the airwaves.
Girl, you are invited to anything that we do. You were over at Twin Peaks with us last week, so that's fantastic.
And we had a blast too, by the way.
You
We had
know,
a really good time.
Yeah, we've talked a lot about the Spurs today. We've talked a lot about Deshaun Watson. We have a caller calling in. Again, the Kielbasa Bacon phone lines are open at 656 ESPN. The best call of the day gets tickets to see Luke Bryan's Raised Up Right tour. We have Rodrigo, who's been waiting for about 10 minutes. Rodrigo, what's on your mind, my man?
Bless his heart.
Hey, what's going on, y'all? My name is Rodrigo. I'm for the No Name Podcast. I have no podcast to offer.
Hey, Rodrigo.
Hey, Carolina. What's up? What's up? I wanted to talk about the Spurs. Y'all keep saying, like, should they play in or should they not? And I'm really disappointed, man, because you know what? These guys are a young group of guys. and they need this experience. They need to strive for perfection, okay? The Spurs organization is an organization of excellence. We're not here to tank. We're not here to go out there and just lose games on purpose. You know what I'm saying? And don't forget, man, there's been times in history where the underdog does win, okay? Y'all keep forgetting the Denver Nuggets when they shocked the world and became the first 8 seed to beat the Supersonics. Or the Warriors who beat the Mavericks, who had the MVP of that year, Dirk Nowitzki. I was really happy when the Mavs lost that year. You got to let these guys play. You got to let them strive for winning because that builds that mentality. And once they get a taste of it, once they get a small inkling of that playoff feel, that game-in feel, and they're like, I want more. I want to go back. What happens when these players lose in the playoffs? They say, oh, man, I went to the Super Bowl. Man, I got to go back. That drives them, man. The best championship in all-time history in the entire universe of the world, whatever timeline you're at, depending on the MCU you're at, is the 2014 Spurs. Because remember when they lost the year before, everybody was like, man, we are going to take it next year. We're going to do it. And they went up there like a machine. Am I saying that's going to happen if they play in and they get there? No, but that builds it. That's what builds that character. And I don't think that 2 or 3 good draft positions in the draft is going to get you such a difference in the quality of the player that you can say, hey, I'm going to go ahead and tank these games. So, no, I'm completely against Team Tank. I want the team to win. I want these games to be meaningful. And I want my guys to go out there and strive for perfection, for excellence, and get out there and get that experience. That way, when we do win these championships 2-3 years from now, they're going to say, yo, when we went to the play-in back in 2022, that's what started the movement.
Hey, thank you so much for the call, Rodrigo. Edwin's going to take your information. You're the leader right now for those tickets.
Now, Rodrigo, you know I love you, and I love all the things that you have to say, and I really appreciate you listening to Halftime. But don't we, want them to tank when it comes to this? I literally just said earlier, I want them to make the play-in tournament to get the experience. And I said the reasons why. They need the experience. They're a young team. It's important for them to make the play-in tournament and possibly the playoffs, because what better way to get their experiences than to start right now? So, Rodrigo, I love your take. You're currently the winner, but you have to remember that I'm in the same boat that you are.
Rodrigo was very eloquent.
Very.
He put his thoughts together, had a very good phone call. I enjoyed it. That's how you call in to Halftime. 656-ESPN, Kielbasa Bacon phone lines are open.
Passion.
Disagree, though. And I'm not going to say he's wrong. I'm going to say that I disagree. That's the difference in this. And that's the problem with this world right now, in America right now, where we can disagree, but we can't disagree because a lot of times we disagree thinking the other person's wrong. I think I disagree because he mentioned the 2014 Spurs, right?
Yeah.
Made that comeback, had that taste of the finals, had a comeback. That's the way he put it, right? Spurs had 3 Hall of Famers on that roster, right? So the Spurs don't have 3 Hall of Famers yet on this roster. The Spurs have a lot of players who are going to have long, long careers, but I don't see a Hall of Famer just yet.
I don't either.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
That being said, the play-in tournament is not the playoffs. It's not the playoffs. It's a coin flip. It is a one-game series. It is March Madness NBA style.
Right.
It has nothing to do with a best-of-7 series where you're having to change your strategies and you're trying to adjust and all of this different stuff. That's where Pop excels, is the adjustments of things. But this play-in tournament is not it, man. And again, we need to have the best players. I would much rather get a 7 or 8 spot in the draft compared to get a 10 or 11 spot. Because again, the players drafted at 7 or 8 are typically better than are drafted at 11 or 12. And there are some one-offs, right? Paul George, Kawhi Leonard, Nikola Jokic, Devin Booker, Donovan Mitchell, Bam Adebayo. These are players who were picked in the, Jokic in the 2nd round, but the rest of them in the teens. It is possible. Klay Thompson was drafted in the teens. It is possible. But the problem is that it doesn't always happen that way. The possibilities are that the better players get drafted early on. That's the thing. And it's not that I want them to go out there and lose on purpose. What I'm saying is that I don't get mad if they lose, but I do get mad at the whole fact that what's pissing me off the most right now is not really having to do with the Spurs. It's that Celtics pick just going further and further away from 20. It started at 19 and now it's at 25.
This is kind of the issue, though, with you numbers people. You're in finance, you're in math, you like probability, you like statistics, fractions, all those great things. But what about the pure belief that the San Antonio Spurs have made a successful organization throughout the past 23 years without high draft picks, without high lottery picks?
No, they did.
I mean,
Tim Duncan was the number one overall pick in the draft.
and that was what in 1998.
Yes, he's also one of the 5 best players of all time in the NBA.
Right. So my thing is this: that was one time, but they still had Manu Ginobili, Tony Parker. They still had great players that came in.
Personal belief. I sorry to interrupt.
I know you're a math person. You're not a believer like me. You need to be a believer, okay? Screw the high probability, high draft picks, high numbers things. Throw that out the window. For once in your life.
The problem is that at some point draft day comes around. The June draft day is June 23rd. That day is going to come around. Right? We can't avoid it. And I am a numbers guy, but you cannot avoid that the NBA draft is going to take place on June 23rd. And if we're sitting there with an 11 pick and the Spurs really like the guy who was 7, but we don't get him, and we have to either trade up to get him.
They could trade up.
Who are we going to give up? Vassell? We're going to give up Keldon Johnson to move up? Who are you willing to see? That's what I'm saying. We didn't have to be in that position. Real quick, we talked about this. We teased it earlier. Pusha T.
Yes.
Tell me about this. What's going on with him?
Okay, so there was a Rolling Stone article that came out that was absolutely fantastic. There's a rapper named Pusha T. I don't know if you know the background on Pusha T, but he's part of the Clips. He's probably one of the greatest MCs in all of rap. He's friends with Kanye West. He did the most savage diss to Drake that nobody ever acknowledges, that Drake took off of World Star Hip Hop, and it's called The Son of Adidon. He put Drake on blast, and he single-handedly brought down Drake's career for a while, and that's the chink on his armor that Drake always talks about. That is Pusha T, one of the greatest diss rappers of all time. Did you know that Pusha T, according to Rolling Stone, and he even gives himself credit, he wrote the famous McDonald's jingle that we all care about? Da-da-da-da-da. I'm loving it. Pusha T wrote that.
Really?
Yeah. So he wrote that, but that was early on in his career, and he said he had no idea how business worked and stuff like that. So he took a one-time payment. And now that this song is one of the most popular McDonald's songs and it has longevity, he doesn't get any royalties from that. And he's always been bitter about that because he hears the song all the time. But I'm loving it. And it haunts him in his dreams because he hears it every time he turns on the TV and sees a McDonald's commercial, but he doesn't get any royalties from all his writings. So Arby's reached out to him. And he did a diss towards McDonald's. One of the greatest diss MCs of all time did a diss on McDonald's against the company that he wrote their jingle for. So I found it a really crazy 180 moment. And Arby's kind of has the dub right now because his diss to McDonald's is top tier. I mean, he was going off on their fish sandwich. It was crazy. It was a fish sandwich versus fish sandwich.
And you and I were arguing about Arby's on the way to the office. And I was there saying, man, Arby's just does not do it for me, man.
Why?
I would rather go to McDonald's than Arby's, man. Arby's, that beef and cheddar, nothing makes me run to the bathroom faster than a beef and cheddar sandwich from Arby's. Well, you know what?
I love that sandwich. It's so good. And their Arby's sauce is the best. You're tripping on Arby's.
Now, Arby's does have good fries, okay?
They have curly fries and they have crinkle fries.
Okay, see, I'm a steak fry kind of guy. Okay,
but where do you get steak fries at a fast food chain?
Well, it's not fast food, but Red Robin, has some really
those
good
are
ones.
nasty, and you got to throw the Lowry's on it. That's why they have it on the table.
Very nice. It's funny because I enjoy talking food with you because, again, Arby's is just, man, it just doesn't do it for me, man. It's just
a lot of
too
people
heavy.
don't like Arby's because y'all don't know what to order. You're supposed to get the Arby's sauce. You're supposed to get the curly fries. You don't like curly fries, get the crinkle cut fries. They have the little sliders if you're on a diet, but you still want to enjoy something. Their beef and cheddar is really good. And now they got a fish sandwich that's dissing McDonald's fish sandwich. And I want to try it just because of Pusha T.
Oh, and
Arby's is top tier junk food crap.
That is Carolina Teague. It is Tuesdays with Teague. And for those of you asking who are watching on Facebook and YouTube right now, I did not take a chair away from her. She wanted to stand up for more energy during the commercial break. We jumped up and down a little bit.
We did jumping jacks together. And that's a true story.
Yeah, so very nice. Well, we have another hour to go here at halftime. sports, pop culture, nostalgia. When we come back, we'll be talking more about the Spurs. Jameis Winston re-signs with the Saints, and Kenny Pickett's hands. How do they grow? This is Halftime on San Antonio Sports Star.
Didn't catch R&R in the morning?
Here's what you missed.
Every one of them at fault. The guy who got his ass whooped, he's at fault. He said something.
Yeah.
Kamara, you're at fault. Everybody at fault.
Rob, you willing to take a $5 million ass whooping?
Yes. I'm taking an ass whooping for a lot less. Unequivocal, yes.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Me too, dog.
I could buy some plastic surgery.
Rob Thompson, Rudy J. Weekday morning 7 to 10 on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN 1250 and 103.3 FM.
Pro football legend Emmitt Smith understands your joint pain.
It does not surprise me that there are a ton of people out there that's in pain.
That's why Emmitt is such a proponent of QC Kinetics, offering real lasting joint pain relief with non-surgical, all-natural biologic treatments.
Whether it's a joint pain, ankle pain, shoulder pain, neck pain, back pain, hip pain, any kind of pain, the body eventually will break down when it's under that much stress.
That stress can cloud your judgment to the point that you'll just say yes to the scalpel or yes to another prescription of pain pills. But maybe it's time for a second opinion from QC Kinetics.
The reason why I would recommend this is because the natural biologics that QC Kinetics is providing you gives your body a chance to naturally heal itself.
Restorative, regenerative solutions are here. Get lasting relief and live your life.
Call QC Kinetics, 210-571-0318. That's 210-571-0318. QC Kinetics, 210-571-0318.
Friday, March 25th, you're going to want to be downtown with San Antonio Sports Stars. We broadcast Halftime and the Blitz live from Yuengling Lager Hoop City at Pinkerton's Barbecue. Win gift cards every hour during the live broadcast.
Okay, so we got the chorizo dumplings, the cucumber empanadas.
Zara's food truck is popping off.
Come on, guys, let's pick it up, all right?
But if she doesn't find a new chef, her truck will be stuck.
Carl quit this morning, so Jessica, I'm going to need you on the fryer.
Indeed can help her hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Instant Match instantly connects you with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your sponsored job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Listen to this station anytime, anywhere on Odyssey. Odyssey is your new audio home for all the music, news, sports, and podcasts that matter to you. Odyssey. That's AUDACY.
Great news from Rocket Mortgage. You could unlock more cash than you realize from your home's equity with a cash out refinance today. In fact, in the last year, average home values have gone up nearly 20%. That means you could unlock thousands of dollars. And with Rocket Mortgage, you could unlock all that cash in less than 3 weeks. But you've got to act right now before rates go up, because nobody knows how long these low rates will last. Put your hard-earned money to work. Make your life better. Build a home office, remodel your kitchen, or simply save that cash for a rainy day. Today's rate on a 30-year fixed-rate mortgage is 3.25%, 3.48% APR, so you can lock in a great low monthly payment. When you're looking to unlock the cash in your home, Rocket can. Call 833-8-ROCKET today or go to rocketmortgage.com to get started. That's 833-8-ROCKET or go to rocketmortgage.com. Rocket.
Rates current as of 12/12/21. Call for cost information and conditions. Equal housing lender licensed in all 50 states. And MLSConsumerAccess.org number 3030. Call 800-490-1233 for disclosures and cost information.
Get ready to tee off with the BBB. Better Business Bureau of San Antonio is hosting its second annual Top Golf Tournament Thursday, March 24th at Top Golf San Antonio. Enjoy friendly competition, lunch and silent auction, business networking, and raise critical funds for the BBB Education Foundation. Team registration and details at bbb.org. Thanks to the following sponsors for making it happen: Ancira Auto Group, Baird Foundation Repair, Ahia, Bluebonnet Roofing and Remodeling, 102.7 Jack FM, and San Antonio Sports Star.
It's college hoops time, and I know you want to get in on the action. I know the perfect place, BUSR. Fill in your brackets and get ready to win at BUSR. Every year, BUSR is featured on ESPN, Sports Illustrated, and Bloomberg TV. Why? Because the line starts with them. Besides sports and racing, you can play over 300 casino games, no download needed. Sign up today and get an exclusive 100% deposit bonus by going to BUSR.com/SportsStar.
Live, loud. KZDC, San Antonio Sports Star. ESPN, AM 1250 and 103.3 FM. Michael Jimenez.
Halftime.
It's hour number 2 of halftime on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250 and 103.3 FM. We're on the go at sasportstar.com. Edwin Hafner's producing this show. It is Tuesday, which means it's Tuesdays with Teague. CT in the house.
What up, y'all?
You can check her out on Facebook and on YouTube Live right now. Search San Antonio Sports Star, like and subscribe. Again, we're giving away a pair of tickets to see Luke Bryan in concert to the best caller of the day. Rodrigo is the current leader right now after hour number 1. But we'll be getting into some calls. We have someone waiting right now, but we'll talk about that in a moment. Again, right now, Arby's was the conversation before we went to break. And it's so funny because Boteo Franklin reaches out on Facebook and says that Arby's is just Taco Bell with bread.
Which is exactly what you told me on the way over here.
I was like, whoa.
Yeah, I was like, whoa. He literally said what you told me, that it was like Taco Bell.
Yeah.
But you like Taco Bell.
No, I don't.
Yes, you do.
I tolerate Taco Bell. That's the thing.
Why can't you tolerate Arby's?
James Pledger puts words in my mouth when it comes to this. I do not like Taco Bell.
Why?
I'll eat Taco Bell. We have it from time to time in the Jimenez household because my kids, for some reason, like it. My wife used to work there, and, growing up, she worked there, and it's just one of those things. But I am not a big Taco Bell fan. I'll just put up with it from time to time.
So why don't you put up with Arby's?
Man, Arby's makes me run to the bathroom faster than Taco Bell does.
That sounds like a personal problem to me. Their food is good.
No.
Their beef and cheddar is good. You need to order the Arby's sauce. You're not doing Arby's right.
The fries are good. I'll give them that. The fries are
delicious.
fine. Everything else, no thank
But you like dry Chick-fil-A. You like Chick-fil-A where they have no seasoning on their chicken.
Chick-fil-A slander. My God.
Let's just be real. Chick-fil-A chicken has no seasoning on it. Raising Cane's chicken ain't got no seasoning on it.
Popeyes does.
Popeyes does. But Arby's, all you need is that Arby's. For Chick-fil-A chicken nuggets, you cannot eat them unless you have sauce, unless you're a sociopath. If you're not a sociopath, you can eat the chicken nuggets by themselves. Same thing with Arby's. You can eat a beef. If you eat a beef and cheddar by itself, you're going to run to the bathroom. But if you have the Arby's sauce and you throw it with it, you can tolerate it, and it's really good. And they have, Anthony Gonzalez also said they have really good mozzarella sticks too. And now they got a fish sandwich that I have to try because Pusha T is now getting his royalties for his diss track.
Joe Garcia reaches out on Facebook, says, I got to go back and listen to past episodes. I swear I heard Jimenez say that he likes Taco Bell. I put up with Taco Bell. I'm fine with Taco Bell. But I don't go, man, you know what I feel like having for dinner? You want to have for lunch? Let's go to Taco Bell. I never do that. I never have that craving. I put up with it when my kids and my family have it. And James Pledger's looking at me through the window right now, giving me an ugly scowl right now. He seems to be, because you put the words in my mouth that I like Taco Bell. Never happened. And people reaching out to us on Facebook saying Michael likes Fremont Street over the Strip in Vegas. That is true. That is true. But that does not mean that I like Taco Bell. And Pledger's here right here.
Pledge is here very irate because he probably knows that you have said that you like Taco Bell. The court Pledger's giving me the thumbs up. You have, and now you're lying to everybody. Pledger's right here. He's saying that you have said you like Taco Bell. Now you're taking it back. I know you like Taco Bell. Yes, it's faux Mexican food. It's not real.
It's not real.
But the quesadilla is about as close as it gets. It's decent when you have nothing else to eat.
That's it right there. It is decent when there's nothing else to eat. And also because I have a personal strike against Whataburger right now because they have not been as good as they've used to been. I am not, it's just one of the things. That's my neighborhood. It's Taco Bell and Whataburger right next to us. But welcome back to halftime on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250 and 103.3 FM.
You're being biased right now. You're not giving Arby's a chance. You said Taco Bell's greater than Whataburger.
I never said that. That is complete falsehood. And Pledger runs off laughing, saying that I said that. He just wants people to hate me. That's what it is. I am the acquired taste, the acquired hypocrite. I'll even admit it. But at the same time, I have never said that Taco Bell's better than Whataburger. That is complete slander right there.
I don't think people hate you.
Tell you what, I'll have Arby's next week.
Please do. Have Arby's and just eat it one time. Get the fish sandwich for Pusha T.
Reach out to us on Facebook. Let us know what should I get from Arby's. But hey, Dallas Cowboys making some news. They signed J-Ron Curse to a 2-year deal for $10 million. Stop the bleeding. That's a good pickup for the Cowboys right there. Edwin, thumbs up or thumbs down? He gives a thumbs up on that. They'll be pairing up Jaron Kearse with Malik Hooker. Not bad. I mean, that's fine. I mean, Hooker's coming off an Achilles injury, but at the same time, they need help at that safety position, and, they're shoring that up. That was not a bad pickup. Dallas Cowboy fans also have been kind of irate this offseason because the Cowboys did not make a lot of moves.
Right.
But the fact of the matter is that all 12 months out of the year, it's Cowboy season in San Antonio. And Eddie reaches out to us on the Kielbasa Bacon phone lines, wants to talk about the Cowboys. What's going on, Eddie?
Hey, guys, what's going on? Loving the show. I normally listen every day, but I actually didn't listen yesterday because I was really busy. But I heard you doing like a little commercial or some caller calling in the other day about how the Cowboys' Dak Prescott is Jared Goff's their version of it, and they should go after Russell Wilson, kind of like Matt Stafford and all that. And you kind of laughed it off as in like, come on, guy, he's not their Jared Goff. And I get it, but that's the whole point. Take away, and we're not even looking at the 1-3 playoff record that Dak has. Dak can't even beat good teams in the regular season. He beats up on a horrible division. But with Dak, it's always something. It's always excuses when they lose to a good team. So-and-so didn't play. So-and-so missed kicks. It's the coaching this. It's always excuses. If you're that guy, you got to find a way to do it. The problem is that I have is with everyone always overrating Dak just because he wears that star on his helmet. Everyone's trashing right now Baker Mayfield about that. Actually, I think you're the one who said that he's the definition of average quarterback. He's not the worst. He's not the best. That's actually Dak Prescott. He's he's not the worst, not the best. He's the definition of average quarterback. I'm just saying, guys, come on, man.
Eddie, thank you for the phone call. I agree with a lot that he said there. Don't agree with it all, but I agree with a lot. So let's backtrack here. He basically says that Cowboy fans give Dak Prescott a pass. Is that true? That is true. TLC, back in the 90s, that is actual and factual. That is true. They give him a pass. Do you know why I believe he gets a pass? I think it's beyond the star on his helmet. I believe it's because Dak Prescott is one good-looking dude. He is one good-looking man, and believe it or not, that goes a long way in society. It really does.
That's
it makes you cheer for
that's
him.
what ugly people say.
Yeah, it's true.
I mean, pretty privilege. Is that what you're saying?
Pretty
Dak
privilege
Prescott
does exist.
Pretty privilege.
It does exist.
Okay.
And
So his talent and all his hard work leading up to him being the quarterback has zero to do with it. It's because he has a pretty face and nice teeth.
Well, let's go back to
There's
what
a
he
lot
said.
of ugly quarterbacks.
Let's go back to what he said right there. Eddie came back and said that Dak Prescott is an average quarterback, and that's where I disagree. He's an above average quarterback. So mark my words, Dak Prescott is an above average quarterback. Is he a top 5 quarterback in the NFL? No. Is he a top 8? We can have that debate. I personally have him somewhere between 8 and 10.
Me too.
Okay. So, and where does that come from? That comes from hard work. That's hard work of somebody who was a 4th round draft pick, who was not expected to be a starter in the NFL. So he has overachieved what he was expected when he got out of college. Dak Prescott is a good quarterback, but I do agree with the fact that he is somebody who gets away with a lot.
Because of his looks?
I think that has a portion to do with
I'm looking at the top ranked quarterbacks according to people, and I'm not judging people off looks because I get judged for my looks, but you mean to tell me you think Aaron Rodgers is attractive? He's one of the top quarterbacks in the NFL.
No. I'm not saying that looks has anything to do with how good you are as a player.
Okay.
What I'm saying is that it gives you a longer leash with a fan base. It does.
Well, I mean, look at Miles Austin. He was very attractive.
I know he dated Kim Kardashian.
And he dated Kim Kardashian. I don't think he had a long leash with the Cowboys.
But he's not the face of the franchise. He never was and never would have been.
Yeah, I mean.
But the point I'm trying to make though is that I think that people cheer for him and want to cheer for him, and I think that his attractiveness has something to do with it. And I'm not saying that it has everything to do with it. It has a little bit. And I've said this more than once on halftime that I think that he gets away with a lot because of it all. It's kind of like do you ever heard the Crazy Hot Matrix?
No, what is that?
Okay, Pledge is walking the Crazy Hot Matrix. Please come in on this, Pledge. Please come in on this. The Crazy Hot Matrix is a video that you'll find on YouTube. It's also from How I Met Your Mother.
Okay.
And it basically says that a guy would put up with more from a woman based on her attractiveness.
Well, there's a scale.
Uh-huh.
So it's the Crazy Hot scale.
Okay.
So on this angle, you go from 0 to 10 based on their hotness, right?
Right.
And then on this end of the scale, you go from 0 to 10 based on their craziness.
Mm-hmm.
And you will put up with as much as they are. So if they are this hot, you will only put up with this much crazy.
Okay.
If they are this crazy, they have to be this hot.
Okay. Okay.
So that's what the Crazy Hot scale alludes
So-
to.
and that applies to Dak Prescott.
I think that he has a little bit longer of a leash
Okay.
because of his attractiveness.
I think in the big pie chart, it's a small sliver
but
of
it
the pie.
exists. It exists. I'm not saying that it's the biggest thing.
I think it's a bigger percentage, honestly. I mean, obviously, it's, his performance is a huge part, but also how he conducts himself as a player. I mean, he's great on and off the field. A lot of people love Dak Prescott because he's a class act. He always knows the right things to say. I think his antics on and off the field haven't ever really gotten him in trouble. So I think that's a bigger piece of the pie.
But it's part of
his look.
It's part of the package, is what I'm saying.
Of course. I mean, look at Patrick Mahomes. He got a $500 million deal because he's that guy. He's good looking. He's good on and off the court, on and off the field, and he carries himself very well.
Right. It's part of the whole package.
Right. So how is it his fault? He didn't ask to be born attractive.
Oh, no. That is a good looking dude.
Who? Patrick Mahomes or Dak Prescott?
Both are.
Yeah. Who's better looking?
Oh, Dak by far.
I think so too. I think Dak is better looking.
Dak is more of the what's it called? He looks good in a cowboy hat.
Would you
And he works for
marry
the Cowboys.
Dak or would you marry Patrick? Or is that going too far?
That's going a little too far,
Okay,
but I'll play along. It'll be Dak.
Okay.
But here's the thing about it though, is that I think that Dak really does have a long leash. Reach out to us. Kielbasa Bacon phone lines are open. 656 ESPN. Again, the best call of the day gets tickets to see Luke Bryan in concert August 25th at the AT&T Center. 656 ESPN. The thing about it is that I think that the Cowboys really do give Dak Prescott a longer leash because they want him to do well. I think the public wants him to do well because of all the things that we talked about. I don't think what you're saying is wrong, and I don't think what I'm saying is wrong. I think it's collectively we're right. I think collectively we're right in the sense that I think he's a good-looking guy and people want to support that. And I think you're right that he's a good guy and that he's that he's good off the field. And because of that, people support him and want him to succeed. Mm-hmm. That's a very big thing. But when Eddie calls in and says, "Hey, when Eddie calls in and says
he's just not that talented."
Well, not that he's not that talented, but that he is somebody that is full of excuses. But we could agree on that though, because I think Cowboy fans should come down harder on Dak Prescott than what they do.
Oh, they're they treat him, they sugarcoat everything, especially the media with Dallas. They sugarcoat a lot of the things, a lot of Dak's performances.
Exactly. Now, earlier we were talking about Deshaun Watson, the fact that he got this humongous deal that is fully guaranteed. And on top of that, I asked the question, is he better off because of it, because of all the accusations, because he was able to go to a different team, he was able to make more money, he was able to get more guaranteed money, and you're telling me earlier that he doesn't have the inner peace inside?
You can't put a price on peace. He has no peace of mind, Michael. None. Look at what he's going through.
Unless he doesn't care. Unless he is somebody that is so demented. I don't know. I don't know him. I've never met him.
Can you imagine? I mean, there's a lot of demented people in this world.
Yeah, psychopath, narcissistic or
psychopaths, sociopaths. They're all over the place.
So Jerry's on the Kielbasa Bacon phone lines, wants to talk about Deshaun Watson. What's going on, Jerry?
Hi, good afternoon, guys. Kind of my point on that is professional athletes in all sports, football, basketball, baseball. I think they kind of have that, like I might have done something bad in the past, and right now people are judging them. But if they're a successful one, if they bring your team championship, if they're always in the playoffs, I think people after time will forget that. And if you even people that even been convicted and went to prison and came back, they got if they're winners, they got accepted again. Even just that, like, I think most recent and most famous one would be like Michael Vick. Unfortunately, he, did go to jail, but, he won when he was in Atlanta. So people started to forget that. That's kind of my point. On the food, I'll always stay away from Arby's and Taco Bell. I'll never touch that.
He's anti both.
He's anti both. So what do you like?
Anti both, yes. But I think it's my mom's fault because I was raised on, Mexican food made at my house.
Arroz con pollo.
Y yo
Arroz con
también.
pollo, bean and cheese. I make tortillas a mano, so my mom cursed me from bad fast food.
Y yo también.
glad
That
of
means me too. I
Thank you for the call.
cook my own authentic Mexican food. I know how to make the best salsa that you'll ever try in your life. And I need to bring some to you, Michael. I think I need to turn you out because apparently people want to take your Mexican card all the time. I need to show you what real salsa tastes like. We both like Culebra Meat Market tortillas. We have eaten real authentic Mexican food. I live and breathe real authentic Mexican food. But when you're in a bind, go to Taco Bell. Go to Arby's. As far as what he's saying about, if you go do jail time, you come out and you're a winner, people will wave that. That is so true. People have such a short attention span and people pick and choose when they want to be angry. I agree with that 100%.
They say this in sports, winning cures everything. And if Deshaun Watson wins in Cleveland, he will be beloved in Cleveland despite it all. Whether he's innocent or guilty, whether there's 22 non-disclosure agreements, he will be loved in Cleveland if he brings a title over there. But speaking of the Cleveland Browns, they have another quarterback on their roster, Baker Mayfield. What are they going to do with Baker Mayfield? Because right now, all those starting positions that are all around the NFL, like Jameis Winston re-signed with the Saints, and you've seen Marcus Mariota go to Atlanta, and you've seen Indianapolis, the Colts get Matt Ryan. All of these starting positions that are open are taken now. They're no longer open. And Baker Mayfield is there twisting in the wind right now. And Rudy J brought up something on R&R in the morning this morning where he basically asked the question, should we put more respect on Baker Mayfield's name? Have we gone a little too far in criticizing him? Have we gone too far in saying that he is a trash quarterback? We had a caller earlier who mentioned the fact that he kind of quoted me by saying that I've always said that Baker Mayfield is the epitome of an average quarterback. Half the starting quarterbacks in the NFL are better than him. Half of them are worse. He is right there in the middle. He's number 15 or 16. That is Baker Mayfield. But that being said, do you think that people are doing him wrong right now? Because right now he's looking for a trade partner. He wants out of Cleveland, and they won't let him go.
I don't think that people are too far-fetched by saying he's an average quarterback. When you look at his stats, he's basically dead in the middle of the pack as a quarterback. And but he's also young, right? He's had a lot of starting experience and he's had a playoff run as well. So there is potential for Baker Mayfield. Now, are people too hard on him? Yeah, but who cares? I mean, people are hard on every single quarterback in the NFL, and he's no different. People had high expectations for him as a Browns quarterback. He didn't deliver. He's not top of the line quarterback when it comes to putting out numbers when you're supposed to, when it counts. And there's rumors that he is going to possibly go to the Seahawks as far as one of their biggest potential suitors for being the quarterback for the Seahawks. Baker Mayfield, they say, is at the top of the list. But the Seahawks also have their offensive line issues as well. So even if he goes to Seattle, they need to put the pieces around him to be successful, which is exactly why Russell Wilson left. So even if Baker Mayfield goes over there, is he going to be successful in Seattle? I have no idea. But if he doesn't do good wherever he goes to, then that criticism is going to be a lot worse than it was this year.
Now, Baker Mayfield's going to turn 27 years old next month. He is 29-30 all time as a starting quarterback. We talk about average. He's 29-30.
Right in the middle.
He's a 500 quarterback.
He's like the Jason Garrett of quarterbacks.
He did have one season a couple of years ago where he was 11-5. Had 3,500 yards passing. Overall for his career, 92 touchdowns, 56 interceptions. He's an average quarterback. But then I look at it this way, Carolina. He was 29-30 for what franchise? The Cleveland Browns.
Yeah, but they had Odell.
I understand, but this is a very, very bad organization. I mean, it's not Detroit Lions bad, but it's still very bad. It's still a team that doesn't make the playoffs very often. It's still a team that goes from quarterback to quarterback. They draft him, they spit him out. They draft him, they spit him out. And Baker Mayfield somehow managed to eke out nearly a 500 winning percentage there. To me, that tells me that he's a little bit better than we give him credit for, but I think he's still average. But if he goes to a team that has an offensive line, there's going to be a chance. He needs to have some weapons around him. And if he does go to Seattle,
Not going to happen.
DK Metcalf, baby. He has 2-3 stud receivers over there in Seattle if he goes over there. The problem with Seattle, though, is that they could not keep Russell Wilson upright. They kept on sacking him because offensive line was trash. So this year in the draft, if they do get Baker Mayfield, Seattle does need to get that offensive line. They need to go like back-to-back, first and second round, get those offensive linemen in there, help out whoever the future quarterback is going to be. I think Baker Mayfield's still going to have a long career in the NFL because, again, 29-30 is not that bad, especially if you're playing for Cleveland. Hey, we're going till 2 o'clock here at Halftime. Sports, pop culture, nostalgia. When we come back, we're going to talk about someone, a big Spurs fan who recently passed away, and we're going to honor him and talk about, just talk about that. It's kind of interesting. A lot of people on Twitter yesterday were reaching out, and it was a really emotional day for Spurs Twitter yesterday.
Very.
And we'll be talking more about sports, pop culture, and nostalgia. But this is Halftime on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250 and 103.3 FM.
Baseball is back. Finally, let's play ball.
Get back on the field.
Well, first they've got to stretch and play catch for a little bit. But eventually there will be baseball. 162 games full season. And we'll have ongoing Rangers coverage of spring training in the entire season. Just be prepared to hear the term soft tissue injury.
A soft tissue injury.
Soft tissue type injury. A lot of soft tissue injury. San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN 1250 and 103.3 FM.
Do you know what people see when they Google you? Search engines don't always get it right. And when they're wrong, it's your reputation on the line. So what do you do when you don't agree with your search results? Call Reputation Defender at 800-401-6681. Reputation Defender is one of the most trusted names in online reputation repair. We have over a decade of experience in fixing people's search results, and we can help you too. Using cutting-edge approaches, Reputation Defender pushes unflattering information down to lower pages of your search results, where few people ever look. We also promote the good stuff so that it rises to the top, letting you put your best foot forward. Your good name is too valuable to leave to the whims of a Google algorithm. You owe it to yourself to take control with Reputation Defender. Visit www.reputationdefender.com or call 800-401-6681 for free advice on your situation. That's 800-401-6681.
Jason Minix here for Garageanization. You've heard me tell you about their shelving, overhead racks, and storage systems to make your garage functional for the entire family. If you have issues with your garage, call 210-664-4494. Have them come out and give you a free consultation. Garageanization couldn't be a better choice. A veteran family-owned and operated business for more than a decade. Give them a call at 210-664-4494 or go to the website garageorganizationsanantonio.com.
Howdy, San Antonio. Chip Ingram from the Roo Pub and the Angry Elephant, inviting you to come out and enjoy patio season. We have newly remodeled patios, garage doors, and everything else you need to enjoy this great South Texas weather. As always, ice cold beer and specialty drinks. Happy hours daily from 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. And our kitchen is open from 11 a.m. to 2 a.m. See you soon at the Roo Pub and the Angry Elephant at 281 and Redland Road.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
My leg was painful, red, and swollen just doing the crossword puzzle. I could have put off telling my doctor, but I didn't wait.
He told his doctor and found out his leg pain, swelling, and redness are deep vein thrombosis, a blood clot which could travel to the lungs and lead to a pulmonary embolism, which could cause chest pain or discomfort or difficulty breathing and be deadly. If you have one or more of these symptoms, this is no time to wait. Contact your doctor.
Brought to you by Bristol Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
When it comes to Twin Peaks beverages, they take things pretty seriously, which is why over the last few months they've been innovating, they've been creating, and they've created an elevated drink menu that is something for everyone. Their newest creations have already hit the bar. Get ready for additions like the Pink Whitney with Pink Lemonade Vodka by the Spittin' Chicklets Group, the Termana Silver, one of Dwayne Rock Johnson's premium tequilas. Cheers! Twins! Eats are fantastic. Drinks, they're icy cold. And oh, those scenic views!
It's halftime with Michael Jimenez on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN 1250 and 103.3 FM.
Upload a photo of what's on your grill and enter description or recipe at sasportstar.com, and you can win a $50 gift card to Tri-County Meat Market. Winner chosen every Thursday at 6 on the Blitz. Welcome back to halftime on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250 and 103.3 FM. We're on the go at sasportstar.com. We're also giving away tickets to see Luke Bryan in concert. The best caller, the best take gets the tickets. You can call on the Kielbasa Bacon phone line 656 ESPN. We've talked about the Spurs. We talked about the Cowboys. We've talked about Deshaun Watson, Baker Mayfield. Any of those topics you want to call in and talk, 656 ESPN. Again, the winning call, the best call of the day gets the tickets. Now, last night I was on Twitter. And, I'm a proud member of Spurs Twitter. We agree to disagree about a lot of different things. Some of it involving should the Spurs tank, should the Spurs go for the play-in tournament, all of that stuff. But we were all in agreement yesterday in that we should honor Michael DeLeon.
Yes. Everybody came together as a collective to honor Michael DeLeon, co-founder of Project Spurs, a huge Spurs blog. And they have he's given opportunities to a bunch of writers in the city, a bunch of personalities in the city, and he's done an incredible job just lifting a lot of people up in the San Antonio sports journalism community, giving them careers, building foundations for them. And he passed on last night, and it was really sad to see.
There was a lot of photos that I saw, people posting photos of them being with him, and it's interesting whenever you talk to somebody who's helped start someone else's career or jump starts it. And then also for Project Spurs and all of that, which led to other things and other different blogs along the way. He was kind of a founder of us getting together on Twitter and getting together on social media to talk about the Spurs and talk about, our favorite team.
Yeah.
We are all Spurs fans.
Correct.
Those who want to tank, those who want to make the play-in tournament, those who love Tim Duncan, those who love David Robinson, all of us. I'm wearing a Spurs shirt right now. We're all Spurs fans. And I never got a chance to meet Mr. DeLeon, but we've interacted on Twitter before where we've commented on each other's stuff before. But again, if he touched a lot of hearts out there, then he must have been a really good person, because a lot of the people that I saw post tweets about him, I know very well. And I'm a big believer that you are the company that you keep. And those are good people. Those are solid people that I was looking at that were making those comments about him and talking about how Project Spurs meant so much to them. And again,
he was instrumental in a lot of people's careers.
It's a big voice of Spurs fans that we lost. So.
And I do want to say I have talked to him on the phone a few times. I didn't have a personal relationship with him, but he was always very kind to me. And, we had conversations about boxing. He was a huge boxing fan. We've spoken about a lot of the independent boxing promoters in the city, MMA. He was a huge MMA fan as well. And also a huge Spurs fan. And San Antonio Spurs actually tweeted out.
They did.
Yes, they said, rest easy, Michael DeLeon. It was something amongst those lines for their Spurs family member. I thought that was a really classy move for the San Antonio Spurs organization to recognize the passing of Michael DeLeon. And that just kind of shows his impact for the San Antonio Spurs community, and shows what kind of a legend he was. So rest in heavenly peace.
Rest in peace, Michael DeLeon, and condolences to your family, your friends, and your followers as well. Rest in peace, my man. Again, we do sports, pop culture, and nostalgia here on San Antonio Sports Star. It's been a fascinating day. I love Tuesdays with Teague. Right?
Oh, you do?
I do. It's an easy show. Working with you and Rudy J, it's the easiest of shows. I work with Pledger, and I love Pledger like crazy. He's one of my besties. He's one of my besties, right?
Yeah.
But, man, he likes to just poke at me the entire time. He just wants me to flip-flop. That's what he wants. But it's funny because, we flip-flopped over a lot of things over the years, and one of the things is Dak Prescott. I confessed in the last segment that Dak Prescott is in fact an above average quarterback. We had a caller call in saying that Dak Prescott is average.
Yeah.
And I thought that went a little too far. Okay. I don't think he's top tier 1 elite. I don't think he's top 5, but 8 through 10, we can have a really good conversation. But right now, Jason is on the Kielbasa Bacon phone lines at 656 ESPN, wants to talk about Dak. Jason, what's going on, my man?
Michael Hernandez, I got a bone to pick with you.
Pick that bone, baby.
Pick the bone.
You said Dak is an 8 to 10 quarterback. I want you, number one, I want you to name 8 quarterbacks better than Dak Prescott. Number two, you a few weeks ago, I listened into the show, and you said you compared Chet Holmgren's college career to the one great Kevin Durant. Now, I am a UT alum, and I followed Kevin Durant since his high school days, and you cannot compare Chet Holmgren to Kevin Durant. I'll hang up and I'll listen.
You know what? I love this call.
I got an
love
8.
this call.
I got a top 8. Can I give you my top 8?
Sure.
Okay, so
Give me your top 8.
Yeah, okay. And thank you for the call, because this puts us pressure on us, because Michael needs to be held accountable for his words, and he needs to back it up with the facts. And I do think that when it comes to better quarterbacks, I think Tom Brady's a better quarterback than Dak Prescott. His numbers speak for itself. I think Aaron Rodgers, much as I hate the team that he's on, I think that he's a great quarterback
That's
as
two
well.
of mine too.
Josh Allen, I think he's a great quarterback too. I also think that Matt Stafford is also a great quarterback. I mean, they won. What did they win this year?
Yeah. Okay.
What did they win? I mean, you got to be a good quarterback to make it to the top. I don't care what anybody says. You got to be a good quarterback to win a Super Bowl. Because if you make small mistakes, speaking of which, you know who's a better quarterback than Matt Stafford? The guy who was across from him, Joe Burrow. I think Joe Burrow's an incredible quarterback as well. And I know you agree with me on that.
No, I agree.
What about Kyler Murray?
Well,
you think Kyler Murray's better than Dak?
I think they're equals. And I would even put down Dak Prescott as an equal to Matt Stafford, because I think that if Dak Prescott was quarterback of the LA Rams, he'd be a Super Bowl champion too. Okay. I think Matt Stafford had a really good team there, right? I mean, he had all the weapons around him. But you mentioned a lot of quarterbacks there, and it's just like, who would you rather have?
What about Patrick Mahomes?
Patrick Mahomes. See, so we talk about Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes. I mean, look at that whole division. Patrick Mahomes. We talked about Joe Burrow earlier.
What about Justin Herbert?
Justin Herbert.
I think he's a great quarterback too.
Yeah, I would rather have them than Dak Prescott. You mentioned Tom Brady. You mentioned Aaron Rodgers. Those are all true. So to have, and then you want to say Matt Stafford or Kyler Murray as 8 or 9, Russell Wilson as well, whenever he's healthy.
Whenever he's healthy, yeah, because that's questionable. Whenever he's healthy, that's also one of the people that I'm like, oh, Russell Westbrook, he might be neck and neck with him.
I think we can all agree that Dak is not top 5.
I don't think he's top 5.
I don't think we can all agree on that. It's just whether or not he's 6, 7, 8, 9, or 10. We can have whether you want to pick Justin Herbert or Matthew Stafford or Kyler Murray, whatnot. I think all answers are correct. I think if you say that he's 6, I can buy that. If you say that he's 10, I can buy that too. If I have him at 8, I think I'm splitting the difference, because maybe I think I have him in the same tier as Kyler Murray right now.
I think I'm 1 to 7. I know for sure there's 7 quarterbacks that are better than Dak. When we get to 8 and 10, that's where we can start having that debate of whether he's there or not. And I think me and you are kind of at the same page when it comes to Dak Prescott being ranked as a quarterback. I don't have my Cowboys glasses on too tight. When I say this, I can be objective when I just based off the performances of the other quarterbacks throughout last season. It's especially when it comes to the last few seconds of the playoffs this season for the Dallas Cowboys. Do you blame, that time management issue was the last, 20 seconds? Was that a Dak issue, or was that more so of a coaching issue? It kind of comes down to both, right?
We'll never know.
Well, that's the thing. We'll never know. But if you give that time management issue, I think Tom Brady could have figured that out.
Right.
I think Aaron Rodgers could have figured that out. Joe Burrow, could he have figured that out? I mean, you know what I mean?
No,
When it comes to these clutch moments for quarterbacks, you got to be there too when you want to be considered elite.
Well, we'll never know. When I say we never know, that was a weird, awkward play where the clock just kind of just ran out. But when I say we'll never know, what I'm referring to is Dak checking out of plays. We'll never know if he checked out of a play that could have worked or which plays he's checking out of. That's the one thing that kind of concerns me about Dak. He gets kind of sheltered or protected when it comes to that. Now, this particular caller took some offense when I compared Chet Holmgren to Kevin Durant. I wasn't trying to compare the two as in their playing styles. What I was trying to compare was their sizes coming out. Because Chet Holmgren and Kevin Durant had something in common. They're both about 7 feet tall, and both of them also very, very, very skinny coming out of college. And that was the thing. Kevin Durant had to put on a little bit of weight. He's not a big dude as far as he's not a wide guy. But the fact of the matter is that when he got out of Texas and went to the pros, he had to put on a little bit of weight because without that, you get pushed around. Chet Holmgren is also a three-point shooter who can get pushed around because of his weight size. But the fact of the matter is that he doesn't play defense that way. Kevin Durant is somebody who's probably a little bit stronger and a little bit more willing to go into the blocks defensively compared to Chet Holmgren. But what I was comparing was not their shooting style, their stroke, though they're both good three-point shooters. Think about it this way. Whenever I try to compare players, people get mad at me because I'm trying to compare players that one has already had their career and the other one is just getting started.
Right.
So when I talk about John Morant,
like when you said John Morant versus Allen Iverson, and everybody skewered you.
Everyone skewered me, but I'm like, you guys have the pleasure of seeing all of Kobe's career, all of Allen Iverson's career. What I'm saying is after 2 years, where were they? I'm saying John Morant is better 2 years into his career than a lot of these star players are. And the same thing with Chet Holmgren versus Kevin Durant. What I'm saying is I'm not talking about the Kevin Durant who became an NBA champion, not talking about the Kevin Durant that became a future Hall of Famer. What I'm talking about is the Kevin Durant who walked out of UT at 19 years old and was probably 170 pounds, 180 pounds, even though he was 7 feet tall. That's what I'm comparing. I'm comparing the sizes of the two.
When they entered the league.
Not who they eventually became. Kevin Durant is one of probably the 20, 25 best players of all time in the NBA. I mean, the guy's legit. I'm not saying Holmgren's going to do that.
Yeah, we don't know. Only time will tell.
But Holmgren is different in the sense that I think Holmgren's a better defender than Durant was in college because he does things just unrealistic defensive-wise. He's being compared to Marcus Camby defensively. But when it comes to offense, I believe Kevin Durant was better offensively than Chet Holmgren from Gonzaga, who, by the way, is still in it. Sweet 16, Gonzaga, the 1 seed. Right now, the odds-on favorite or the number 1 favorite team to make it and win the NCAA championship.
Was it Gonzaga, right?
With Gonzaga,
That's who I have Gonzaga winning it all. So hopefully they do win.
We're going to put a bow on the show on the other side. I need to talk to you about intermittent fasting. I need to know how to lose more weight.
Okay, I got you.
We're going to have fun with the last segment. This is Halftime on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250 and 103.3 FM.
You're never that far away from some football. It's NFL free agency. Teams are dropping Benjamins like it's going out of style. And players are looking to sell their talents. Follow free agency and the NFL draft with San Antonio Sports Star. ESPN 1250 and 103.3 FM.
In the NFL, the Dallas Cowboys are bringing back safety Jaron Kearse on a 2-year, $10 million deal that is worth up to $11 million total. Former Cowboys offensive tackle Lael Collins, who was released late last week, has a new home already as he signed a 3-year deal worth up to $30 million to help protect Joe Burrow and the reigning AFC champion Cincinnati Bengals. In the NBA, the San Antonio Spurs are off, but gained a game in the standing as they are now 2 games back of the New Orleans Pelicans for the 10th seed in the Western Conference and getting into the play-in tournament. San Antonio returns to action tomorrow night when they take on the Portland Trail Blazers. In MLB spring training action, the Washington Nationals beat the Houston Astros 3-2, while the Texas Rangers won a slugfest over the Cleveland Guardians 25-12. Wow. For San Antonio Sports Star, I'm Rudy J.
With the tournament coming to town, San Antonio Sports Star is heading downtown for Yingling Lager Hoop City at Pinkerton's Barbecue. Starting March 24th, the Blitz, Halftime, and Saturday Morning Hangover will all be live at Pinkerton's Barbecue at Legacy Park, where you can watch the tournament games on the jumbo screen. Chances to win a Yingling Grizzly ice chest every hour during live broadcast, as well as Pinkerton gift cards. Enjoy Yingling Lager, Light Lager 99, Golden Pilsner, and Yingling Flight for $4. Yingling Lager Hoop City at Pinkerton's Barbecue. The
24th through the 26th. Joel, I'm going to show you something that will revolutionize and streamline the way we do business.
No, thank you.
It's unlike anything you've seen before. I've just completed my online training for hypnosis.
Whatever.
Listen, my supersized supervisor. Hypnosis is used to free the mind and unlock amazing physical capabilities, and I can show you.
How about you hypnotize yourself back to work?
Close your eyes, Joel, and focus on my voice. You're getting sleepy, very sleepy, going deep. Deep.
Nigel, I think you just accidentally hypnotized yourself. Folks, don't let your home's AC, heating, or plumbing problems put you in a trance. Call Quarter Moon day or night. We'll immediately send a friendly tech to your home or office. They'll quickly diagnose and fix the issue, always at a fair price. Nigel, when I snap my fingers, you're going to wake up as a poodle.
Joel, can we go for a walk? Can we? How's my hair? Bark. Woof, woof.
Quarter Moon Plumbing, Heat, and AC. 210-651-5899. License number M16004. TACLA 000743445E.
We're out of the brand name, but we do have the generic version.
Serene's Pharmacy can't keep up with allergy season.
Who's next in line?
They need certified technicians to alleviate the headache.
Ma'am, I'm so sorry for the wait. We'll have your prescription filled soon. I need some help.
Indeed can help them hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Instant Match instantly connects you with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your sponsored job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Guys, stop what you're doing. Give me a few seconds of your time and let me give you a piece of advice that will change your love life forever. Have you noticed you've been losing a little pep in your step? Has your lady friend asked you, is everything okay? Do you find yourself having trouble rising for the occasion? Do you stress out before that special moment and wonder, is it gonna work? Guys, I'm going to let you in on a big secret. You don't ever have to worry again. The Mojo Male Enhancement Formula has you covered. Mojo is the 100% guaranteed male enhancement formula that guarantees lasting success, if you know what I mean. The Mojo Male Enhancement Formula is safe, natural, and effective every single time, guaranteed. Mojo is available in a fast-acting spray and a quick-action capsule. Do yourself and her a favor and call Pure Line Nutrition in San Antonio today. They'll get you set up for success. Call 210-494-2210. That number again is 210-494-2210. Mojo Male Enhancement, only available at Pure Line Nutrition.
My name is Kelly. I want to tell you about Dr. Jacob Torres and Institute for Functional Health. I met Dr. Torres years ago. I was gaining that middle-aged bulge, feeling less energetic, and I had aches and pains in my back and shoulder. My cholesterol, blood sugar, and other measurable numbers were okay, but not good. My cardiologist suggested if I did not change my habits, I may need to start taking pills to manage my health. I was not looking forward to spending Sunday evenings counting up my pills for the week. I phoned Institute for Functional Health to set an appointment with Dr. Torres. Over the next few weeks, Dr. Torres totally changed my life. I do not take medicines. I lost over 40 pounds, and my weight has remained amazingly consistent. Most importantly, I feel great. Dr. Torres is my hero. He changed my life.
We can visit with you over the phone and virtually. We work with your insurance company, and it costs you nothing to call and consult with us. I am Dr. Torres at the Institute for Functional Health. Call me for a free consultation over the phone, 468-1891. 468-1891.
Get ready to tee off with the BBB. Better Business Bureau of San Antonio is hosting its second annual Top Golf Tournament Thursday, March 24th at Top Golf San Antonio. Enjoy friendly competition, lunch and silent auction, business networking, and raise critical funds for the BBB Education Foundation. Team registration and details at bbb.org. Thanks to the following sponsors for making it happen: Ancira Auto Group, Baird Foundation Repair, AHIA, Bluebonnet Roofing and Remodeling, 1027 Jack FM, and San Antonio Sports Star.
You're never that far away from some football. It's NFL free agency. Teams are dropping Benjamins like it's going out of style, and players are looking to sell their talents. Follow free agency in the NFL draft with San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN 1250 and 103.3 FM.
Hey guys, it's Rudy J. Your home for sports talk is right here on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN 1250 and 103.3 FM.
That is my guy right there, man. Rudy J will be in tomorrow. Wednesdays, I get to play with Rudy J, and tomorrow is Movie Review Wednesday. Jeff Garcia from Locked On Spurs and Ken's 5 reached out to me today to give me grief about Big Trouble in Little China. Have you seen that movie?
No.
It is garbage. It is hot garbage. It was one of the worst movies I've ever seen in my life.
Every time you ask me this, my answer is like no.
You still haven't seen New Jack City.
I forgot.
You need to watch New Jack City. That's a great movie.
I saw some of Blade, and then I got scared. I started covering my eyes because I saw too much blood. So I was like, oh, no. But I heard New Jack City is great.
Blade was okay. I gave that one a B-, I think is what I gave it.
It's too bloody.
I would give New Jack City a solid A-. A solid A-. But tomorrow, the movie review is going to be the movie Alien, the first one, starring Sigourney Weaver. Again, I've never seen this movie.
It's kind of corny.
Oh, don't tell me.
Oh, okay,
Don't
okay,
tell
okay,
me.
okay,
Don't tell me,
okay,
okay?
right.
But it's movie review Wednesday.
Can I just say this, though? I'm so pro-alien. I believe in aliens. And I feel like one of these days, you and I need to talk about aliens and ghosts and demons, because that's where I thrive.
Yeah, my daughter asked me that the other day. She asked me if I believed in aliens, and I said, you know what?
Yes.
Yes. And in what capacity? I don't know. The universe is so vast.
We could deep dive into the alien talk all
I
day
know.
long, and I will really have a very honest conversation with you about aliens.
Very cool, man. Yeah, again, we're halftime San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250 and 103.3 FM. Edwin, so what do we think, man? Rodrigo? Is that the winner? What do you think? Rodrigo, congratulations. You're going to go see Luke Bryan in concert. We gave away a pair of tickets to the best caller of the day, and I thought Rodrigo did a fantastic job. Edwin Hafner gave a thumbs up. You know what? Right? I mean, that's
Congratulations, Rodrigo. Yeah, he had a great call.
He had a good call, yeah. So I was thinking about it because I go on social media, and from time to time, you do the mirror selfie, the slight thirst trap, if you will. Kidding, you're not as bad as Pledge. But when it comes to, you're at the gym.
No, I feel like I give Pledge a run for his money.
But you're at the gym, you are proud of yourself, you're looking good.
I don't think it's a thirst trap, though. I think I'm just proud of my body.
No, I get that. It's not a thirst trap from you, but, dudes are dudes. Just is what it is.
Yeah. Okay.
So one of the things about it was last year I lost 30 pounds. And then I ran the Rock and Roll Half Marathon, and I proceeded to not want to work out ever again.
Uh-huh.
December 5th was the Rock and Roll Half Marathon. And man, what are we, January, February, March? 3 months later, 3.5 months later, I found that I gained 15 pounds back.
Uh-huh.
And I decided that I need to get back into the swing of things. So I started about a week ago, intermittent fasting all over again. And already it's starting to fall back off. I'm starting to thin out again. And you've had success with intermittent fasting, which, by the way, is not a diet. It's basically saying that you're going to go 16 hours each day without eating, but only eat during an 8-hour window.
Yeah, you could do 16 hours a day, no eating, 8 hours eating. So from 12 to 8, you can eat. Before 12, after 8, you cannot eat a dang piece of candy. You can just drink water, and that's it. So anything between 12 to 8, if you want, I'm living proof that this works. But the thing is, you have to be consistent for 21 days at least for the fat to start just melting off of you. I lost 40. I'm a small girl. So when you're like about 5 feet, 5'1", like I am, losing 5 pounds is really, really hard. So me doing intermittent fasting for 21 days, I lost 14 pounds and the fat just melted off of me because I stuck with it for 21 days. I did not eat outside of my window. You can drink alcohol. You can have Arby's, which is going to be your new favorite food once you try your beef and cheddar and all that stuff. You can eat whatever you want. Ideally, you're supposed to eat healthy. But if you stick within that 12 to 8 window, or you could do one meal a day, you're gonna see the weight fall off. I mean, at least for me, it worked fantastic.
I do 11 to 7. Okay, so basically, I have my first meal at 11. I have my second meal around 6:30, so that I'm done by 7.
Mhm.
And somewhere in the middle, I have a snack of some sort.
Yeah, and it works for all age groups. My mom, I put her on it because she was like, "Oh, how'd you lose so much weight?" And I told my mom, "You should try it." She did it from 10 to 6, and she stayed consistent with it. My mom, even though she's older and her metabolism's slower, the fat melted off for her too.
Yeah, again, we're not doctors, but
We're
it's
not.
it's just experience, and what I saw was that my vitals went down, like in a good way, in the sense that my blood pressure went down, my blood sugars went down, and I lost a lot of weight. And a lot of that is also by being active and exercising. I've done Camp Gladiator. I do more running than anything else. I've done a little bit of CrossFit. But man, I'm excited to get back on it. And it's funny, even though it's only been 4 days, I feel better.
I'm sure you do.
It's just so weird because I just felt so sluggish. And then I got sick and I went on vacation and the holidays. I have every excuse known to man, but we are about 2 months away from beach season.
You got to get on it.
Yeah, I can't be a whale.
Yeah,
Can't be a whale.
and the fat, just as far as the fat goes, it melted off for me, and it works. If you guys want to try it, just be consistent. Drink water outside of that window. You should be fine.
You know what? I'm going to be, so now that I've lost a few more pounds, I'm back down to being down 20 since last year. 5 more pounds. I'll be sending out some thirst trappy photos of myself at the gym.
Good for you.
Just like Pledger, just like Carolina Teague. But Carolina, thanks for being with us. Again, it's Tuesdays with Teague. Tomorrow, Wednesdays with Rudy J. Jason Minix and Joe Reinick will be back at 4 o'clock for the Blitz. This is Halftime on San Antonio Sports Star.
Didn't catch R&R in the morning?